What's up, fam? This is Day Traders versus the midweek outlook for November the 5th, 2025. Today I got my butt spanked. Got my butt spanked today, but I wasn't following my own rules on this one today. So let me um let me pull up the charts on this. Let's start with dollar. Dollar has reached the expected target, right? We assumed that we would push up above this last week, and then what the thing that I mentioned last week was that we had no real reason to stop from taking out that monthly high in between this area right here from 99.52 all the way up to that previous monthly high. We had no reason to stop once we got above this area, this daily fair value gap to the downside. So this is inverted. And now this is a bullish area right here until proven otherwise. It's neutral, but it's bullish most likely. So with that being said, we had price go ahead for this week, push from go ahead and push up from this range up to this monthly previous month high. So now we need to adjust fire. Like where could we be going next on the dollar chart? Um, so that's what we'll need to figure out. So if we're looking at, let's take out all of the markups, right? We just took out this high on the monthly. This is a monthly high. The next level that we have is this high right here. So we'll need to account for this high. And we also need to just double check. Let me double check if we're doing anything on the weekly. Oops. Let's take this back off, right? So on the weekly, we just took this high out. We got another high right here on the daily. And then we are into this fair value gap right here. Even though we traded into it, we still may use it. So that may be something to consider. On the monthly, we don't really have a lot, but it looks like the weekly chart has this, the daily chart has this high we need to consider next on the daily. So this is the next high that we'll need to watch out for. And this is the high for the previous, this is May. May's high is here. So this is a previous week high. And as you can see from where we are right now, again, it's not much in between this previous month high and this previous week high. So the likelihood of us having it push up without having a lot to stop it is pretty accurate. So what we'll look at is from where we are closing yesterday, right? There's always the downside. Yesterday's close was here, right here. So there's always the downside case. I don't know if we necessarily need to have a push down, but if we do, we likely push down to react off of this level. That's where I'm seeing right now. And if we do, the long-term play is we react off of this level. The play is we react off of this level and we go ahead, if we haven't done this already, push up to take out this high and this fresh high we just made, right? Took it out here. That high got taken out. This the high for the week. right here. It's the weekly high. And then if we go further, we likely just trade a little deeper into it. But overall, I think we have a clean move, at least for somewhat of a move up to this next week's high, this previous week high that we have right here. And you can see it kind of lines up with what we already been moving, how we already been moving, and the way dollar has been pushing up for these past 2 weeks. We've been bullish, especially since we made this low right here. We've been pushing up ever since, and we finally traded inside of this fair value gap. We held inside of it right here. Then once we pushed up inside of it, we traded through it, and then we start holding near the high. And if we do sell off, it will at least try to hold right around this the high that we had over here. So that's what I'll be looking for going into the rest of the week. And this will, if this does happen, that means that there should be some further downside on gold. So let me copy this, and I'm gonna put it in the chat. Weekly, midweek. This is dollar. And let's get the chart. Okay, go to gold. You can see gold just been kind of consolidating. We made this low and we made this high. Prices just been hanging out in this range ever since we came off of these highs from here, and then this high we made here. So now that we've pushed down into this range and we kind of hanging around this fair value gap, they got inverted and we're inside of this daily right now. We just kind of hanging out right now. So we're gonna need to make a move out of this soon. And if we do, the likelihood is we take out this low right here. That's our first area we need to consider. And if we do take out this low, we can expect to trade into that inverted fair value gap in the orange that we got down here. And then there's even a possibility that we take out these lows right here. So if we take out these lows, that'll be a bit of a concern for gold, because right now gold is is like down 11% right now. At last time I checked, and that's probably not what you want to see for gold. But as far as it being strong against the dollar, that is what you want to see when the dollar is strong. If you're expecting that to be continue strongly, you do want to see gold push down. So let's look at the daily right quick. You can see it right here. We just been ranked. This is that same low we made right here. That's the same high we made right here. And we just been inside of that little range. This low, there's these two lows right here are at risk. If we do come down, there's a small fair value gap inside of here. And there's a little gap that's inside of here. I don't know how we want to use that yet. Let's look at the weekly. You can see there's definitely a lot of price action missing inside of this move up between this low and this high. If we were to put our fibs on it, Kill zone would probably be right around here where we would have 50% of the move right around here down to 786 probably be right around here. And then oddly enough, there is a fair value gap down there. So if we do see price continue to come down, I can see us coming all the way back down to the 3600 area to try to make a bounce from there. But that is a longer term logic. You know, that's not what I'm expecting to happen right now, but that is a possibility, you know. So we'll go ahead and just look at, for now, look at price coming out of this range to the downside. If we don't, we already tried to bounce here, right around the midpoint. So I'll still see if we can get that bounce from there again. Um, and then the upside target is still this high for now. The downside targets I think will get met if dollar stays strong. If dollar stays strong, we'll start to take out this low. This low is will be this low, and this low will be our immediate targets where we have liquidity below these lows. So where we have this liquidity before these, right below these lows, we got this liquidity right here, and us coming down to sweep that and then trying to bounce, it kind of makes sense for us to do that. So from a short-term perspective, that'll be what I'm gonna look for on gold. We kind of gotta play it by ear for now because gold is on a correction. And just to kind of show you what I mean when I'm talking about the correction, usually when something's down 10%, that's considered like a correction. You're not like in a bad place as long as you staying in like above the 10%. And if we look at it from the high we made up here to the current price,
What are you doing, man?
the high we made to the current price is 9%, 9.45%, 9.45. To the low we just made is a 11.28% decline. So that's what I mean when I say it's down already. So we'll need to kind of take account for that as we continue to trade gold. So let me give y'all this chart. And then in YM has basically it surprises me sometimes because like not to brag or nothing like that, but sometimes just seeing stuff play out like how you thought it would, it just gives you that confidence, man. It's just like, you know, I know what the hell I'm doing, man. And it reminds you like to keep pushing, right? Keep doing what you're doing because you on the right track, right? And if we look at, let's look at this chart right here from last week, right? I'm sorry. not even last week. We could just look at it like the goal when this week opened was that either we push up, we hold above this, and we take this high out, or we push down, we try to bounce. And you guys might not understand what I mean a lot of times because you might not be seeing things the way I see things yet, but this is isn't this the down move right here, right? This area was the area we could try to bounce from. That's where this leg comes in to play. This buy, right? So if price was pushing down, it is that we could try to buy from here. That's what this wick represents, us trying to buy from here. Whether we continue with that move or not, we don't know. It decides that it doesn't want to continue with that move, right? It is now we continue down on this leg, right? And this leg is the next area we should see buying from. What happened right here? We tried to come down to this area. We tried to buy from here. That's what this leg of the move represents. From here to here. Us coming back, us trading all the way down, coming back, holding this area and trying to buy from here. What do? We try to buy, right? That represents this rejection off of this area to come back into this range between this new week opening gap high and low right here. If we extend this out, you probably can't see it because it's probably a little too much stuff on there. But this right here is the leg down here to this leg up. That's what this move represents right here. Even though we didn't go all the way to the midpoint initially, that's what this sell-off again represents, that we came back into this new week opening gap, used it to try to sell off. We only made it to the low of the new week opening gap, but that is where we got our sell from, right? And this is the only leg that didn't play out right here. This leg right here, because we didn't, and it kind of did, because we did come down halfway into this inverted fair value gap. But for me, I don't consider it because we kind of went sideways after we came down into here, right? But now this leg up is activated from around here, right? Because now we starting to push back up. This could still be in play, right? We could still be seeing us sell off from here. So for now, we'll still just say, hey, from the close of yesterday, this leg is at risk now. This low is at risk, and we could come down into here. But at the same time, if we do not come down into here, we could still be getting a sell off inside of this new week opening gap that got inverted. And that will be the case until we trade through it. And if we start to trade through it and hold inside of it, that's a sign that we won't be using this to sell off anymore, right? So the sales come in is the selling will come in if we stay inside here and we can't trade above to take out this high or this high, these highs right here. Because now these are our liquidity. And if it comes in here, it's probably going to take out all of those highs. Let me clean this up. So these will be the highs that are at risk. right? And we'll need to see like how do we react to these highs, right? So this is where we sell. We either go ahead, trade through these lows, and then go ahead and come after this inverted fair value gap area right here. Let me slide this over a little bit. And then this is our main area right here. But we do have this 4-hour fair value gap that is using too. But the main area is this one because this is from the daily. And then overall, then we got this previous day low that we made over here as another target to the downside. The upside move, right? If we do come in here and we cannot trade through this, we bounce, right? And the upside targets will still be this area, right? Just like if we get back down to this area and we can't sell off of this any lower, we bounce off of this area right here. Again, upside targets are the same. And then from the last bullish perspective, again, this is if we push up, right? We need to start seeing price close above the new week opening gap and continue to use this gap as a means to push price up higher, right? But if we do see that, right, we just got to understand that if we do get price to trade above this immediately, it's probably going to need to come back into this range and push up higher, right? But if we do push up higher, again, these will still be the targets, right? And eventually, all-time highs will be at risk again if we do get up to there. So if we do push up, we'll likely start to push up, reject off of this, and then go higher, right? These highs for now are our targets. And if we do get above those highs, we'll either pause here inside of this area, or we'll go ahead and take out these highs, right? So that's what you're looking at when you're looking at all these little lines or whatever. This is our downside scenarios, the red lines. This is where we can see buying on the blue line. We took this liquidity. We took this old high. This was all-time high. We took that out. These are our next highs. These are our next lows. This is our weekly low right now. This is the low for the week. And it's sitting right there inside. So this is why this is Dow Jones. Some things we need to look out for though. Tomorrow, let's see if we got any news. Which I skipped over. FOMC speaker. So no news. This should be our NFP week, but because of the um, shutdown, we won't get those numbers. But we do have consumer sentiment and we do have inflation expectation on Friday. So as long as the government shut down, we won't get the NFP numbers. We did get the ADP numbers, which is the reason why market pushed up. We did add 42,000 jobs. These are likely seasonal jobs, so I wouldn't get too impressed by this, but these are probably seasonal jobs. And then our PMI was up higher than expected. So that's the reason why the move continued to push higher. And then we had Trump speaking. I don't know what he said. I do know he said some stuff that I don't think is most of us on this call want to hear. But he what he didn't say is the government is back open. So, you know, I'll let you interpret it how you want to. So, there's still things going back and forth. They are also, just another note, also mentioning a housing recession, a recession in the housing market. So let's note this as well. I'll send you this link. Um, I don't know exactly how this will affect us, but the Treasury Secretary Hassett, that's his name, Hassett, Bessett. I'm sorry, stated that the U.S. housing market is one of the subsets of the economy that may be in a recession because of high interest rate, as he continues to call for the Feds to cut rates. Interestingly enough, the Fed has cut rates, and he's cut rates twice. I guess he wants the rate down to zero. I don't know what their expectation is, but I do know that if the slowing down in the housing market is not because of the rates. It is a lot of stuff, a lot of uncertainty going on right now. And to blame the rates being the issue is kind of irresponsible. But I'll let you interpret it how you guys want to interpret it. I don't want to like put my opinions on y'all, but it is, we as traders and people who understand the market, we know that that's not the case. So we know that there's other aspects, and that's the other thing that I love about trading because it make you think about the world different. That term when people say like uh follow the money and that'll tell you everything is true because once you start following the money, you see things from a financial at from a finance for my tongue. You see things from a financial perspective and you see what and why people make certain decisions, and you start seeing all the lies, really. You start seeing all the overreactions and the underreactions when you start to see like how the money goes. Um, so that's what we'll need to be looking out for. Um, this is Dow. Sorry, I went on a little tangent, but sometimes we need that. S&P looking similar. I'm sorry, NQ. NQ is looking similar. NQ was the last one to come inside of this weekly fair value gap. I mean, new week opening gap. We finally came down in here on this move down. And again, just like we had before, we took liquidity out here. We came down. And again, this is what I'm looking at when I see like from the opening of, well, this was my me marking up my chart. So this isn't the same, but let me pull up the charts on let me grab something really quick. The charts on this one where they're in here. And I think we pinned this. So futures. So NQ was here. And NQ was on the opening. Either we push up to take out this high, and then we use this area to support to push us higher. Or we sell off to take out these highs, come down into this range. If we came down into this range, we're either going to continue to sell by pushing up, back up into, there should be a fair value gap or something in between this leg, and we push back down and hold it, continue down, or we push up and try to buy from here. Same thing over here. We once we If there is a fair value gap that should be in between this area right here somewhere, we should see price try to sell off inside of here somewhere to go down into this area. And then if we want to keep going down, we should see a low made here outside of this range right here. And then we should see price try to sell off within this range to go down from here. Or we see price bounce off of this area to push up higher. And then this high will be at risk, right? So now that we understand like what I'm looking at, let's see how it played out, right? So we did come down to take out these lows, right? We traded down off of this high, the high of the gap, right? Like we said, if it comes down, it's gonna try to bounce from here, right? And if it tries to bounce from here, there should be a fair value gap somewhere that we get a sell off from. If it doesn't sell off, this move should take us to the down, to take us further down. We get our sell off from here, and then we go through this low. We go through the range, right? If it goes through the range, we should see price try to come back inside of here. And then if it does, it should probably either try to sell to continue lower or it's going to bounce inside of here. Right now, we came back in, we trying to bounce for now. So what we got to look out for now, the last close we got is here. Either we're going to come back down in here and actually use this range to sell off to take out this low. And that's all I kind of want to see for now, us taking out this low and into this area over here. Mainly the inverted fair value gap, but the other fair value gap too from the 4 hour. But the fair value gap right here was the move up. This one created this move up. So you see this inverted fair value gap. This is where the move started. So that's why this one's an important one. So that's why I'm really focused on this orange inverted fair value gap, because that one is the one that flipped us, pushed us up. So, and then we got this little significant low because this was a really big news move. That's why this low is important. So, this one got taken out right here. I'm gonna still leave it on here for now, but this is our weekly low now. So if we're gonna go further down, lower, we're gonna have to take this low out right here, this weekly low. So else this stays intact, and then we have to come back to visit that another time. Is this making sense?
Yes, it does.
All right, cool. So if we do get
Yeah, it make plenty of sense.
okay, if we do get back in here though, right? There is an inverted fair value gap right here. I'm gonna take this one off. We don't need this really, but there is a fair value gap that got inverted. It's right here. Let me draw it on here. This one, this is an hourly inverted fair value gap setup where we were supposed to sell off here to continue down. We didn't. We took it out. We traded above it, and then we made another small fair value gap. We got this low and we pushed up higher. So now we got to look out for what happens at these highs. These are going to be our short-term targets right here. These relatively equal highs right here. They not equal, but they pretty much line up together. That's what I mean when I say relatively equal highs. Let me update this too. I gotta update some of my drawings because I'm using a night background and I can't see some of the stuff on the background. So I gotta update it and save it. So that's why you see me doing all this. And again, if we hold somewhere inside of here, the goal is we bounce and then we at least try to take out these highs right here. So for now, these will be the targets, you know. But I think if what best case scenario we come, I'll leave put this. This is our last high, and we come in here. That'll be the best case scenario. And then if we just push up, if we just push up, then if we just pushing up, this fair value gap right here that we already sold off from, you can see it right here. This is a bearish one. You probably draw it better on the 4 hour. Yep, 4 hour look better. Let me put it on the 4 hour. And I'll really just go ahead and put both of those together because there's two. We'll just go ahead and account for both of them. So now we got our 4 hour setup, 4 hour fair value gap. And again, if we start to see price hold inside here, that's what this represents, right? This represents us pushing up in here, holding inside of this range and climbing higher in this range to get up to try to take out these highs, right? So 353. 342. Nas has been looking like, you know, like YM and Dow, all of these YM, you know, and Dow Jones, which is YM, and ES, which is S&P. They all been looking kind of the same, you know, with just like minor differences on the move. So you'll notice that we got a similar setup as well, right? You know, if we do push down, we take out this target right here, and then we take out this weekly low. That's our current weekly low. And then this is our short-term upside targets. And then if not, we're gonna start trading into this range. So this is in Q. A little feature that I'm going to kind of start using. Um, and I just wanted to show you guys this. So on my current contracts, I created a new watch list. This is just the current contract, so that way I can always have access. But I'm gonna start using this note feature because I'm having a hard time keeping up with all my notes. So you can take a screenshot. It'll give you a screenshot, you know, that you have that you can download any given time. And then, you know, you can put your notes um, right here too. So, you know, if I wanted to, I could just type my notes in right here to to go over what I expect off of the charts or whatever, right? But I'm, you know, this is just how I'm using it, especially for my future setups, I mean my option setups, I'm putting my notes in here because I've been having a hard time like just keeping up with everything. So I'm just gonna keep it, you know, initially on the charts in here, and then I'll go back, later on if I need to pull them off into another place, whatever. But this is just something I'm gonna start doing. You guys can could do it if you like, but let me know if it helps because I'm just gonna try it out and see how it works out for me. Then we got S&P. S&P setup was similar. This was the chart. S&P. We already took out this low. We took out this low. We set a new low. That's the previous week low right here. So we either take out this high, which is the previous day high, and then we start to push higher off of this area. So this is our first target, or this is our first target, whichever way we decide to go. But either way, if we push up, we take this target. If we push down, we take out this target, and then we try to see if we're going to buy it around here, or we come down into this range and we see if we're going to try to buy around here. If we do buy in here, there is a possibility that once we come back inside of the new week open gap, we could try to sell off around the midpoint, primarily around the midpoint. And if we do try to sell off, we'll have a low down here somewhere. This will be our weekly low. And then if we still going to continue to sell, we'll see that this leg of the move down comes after this low right here to get into this range right here. Right? Or if none of that happens, right? And we do take out the low and we decide we want to hold inside of here, we start to bounce inside of here. Then you see us close back inside of here to go higher. And then these become our targets again. Right? So let's see how we played out. So that was that low. That was the previous week low. We traded around a little bit, but then eventually we took out the low. When we took out the low, we created a fair value gap. That's the one right here. We traded through the new week opening gap. We pushed down to this range like we thought we would. And then we tried to bounce. We tried to bounce. Main area that we came to back inside of the new week opening gap was the midpoint. Where did we get this wick? Right around 68.49.75. The high on this candle is 68.49.50. We missed this by 0.25. Then what do we do? So now we made this whole move down right here. Like we thought. We made this move down right here. We then tried to buy over here up to this area around the midpoint. And now this move to the downside took place. And when that took place, we came all the way down. Where did we expect for price to come down to? Right around here. This is our low, right? Now that we in this move, we trying to bounce. So this last leg came down without me considering that this may be the move up. And that's okay. That's all right. Because at this point, you should already know that we could get a bounce here because this is previous inverted fair value gap. So you know we should be getting a bounce here. But in this case, we're trying to bounce with this move up right here. And it's coming around where we made this low and this low, right? So, but we still got to deal with the old previous week gap. We still got to deal with that, right? It hasn't gone anywhere. So we still got to make sure that we either going to trade through that or we are going to react to that. Either we trade through it or we sell off from it. Right now, we're kind of selling off from it, right? Also, we can kind of get rid of this now. This is from the 4 hour. I'm not gonna get rid of it. I'm just gonna pull it off to the side. Same thing. I don't know why I deleted that other one. I don't want to get rid of it, but we have used this. We didn't replace it though. Let me see. Yes, we did. We can move this off to the side. We replaced it. We got a small one on the 4 hour. Okay. All right. So now this is our last close right here. We still got to deal with this fair value gap. So it's 342. We still got to deal with this new week opening, right? We bounce off of this price inside of this gap. And then there is still another area. Actually, let's account for this. We don't necessarily, this could necessarily bounce off of this and still go because we have an inverted fair value gap set up here. And this and this could be associated to the same move down. So really this whole range right here, which you can see I'm accounting for, is a 1 hour fair value gap that got inverted. And then we used it to push up higher off of. And now we traded up higher. We took out this high. This high from yesterday is our short-term target for now. And again, we can still see price push down again. Main thing is we take out previous day target, previous day high, and then we start to see if we're gonna start trading above this new week opening gap. Our downside target primarily is the new weekly low that we made right here. And then if we just push up this high is our next target. And that's the previous day high. There is a fair value gap inside of here too. I'm not gonna put it on there because I think that we really dealing with this weekly new week opening gap. So I'm not gonna really put that on there. For the most part, we just dealing with this right now, these levels. And even if I draw it on there, you can see the hourly one is inside of just this move down here. If I put the 4 hour on there, it's pretty much here to here because there's two. So it pretty much covered this whole area anyway. So I'm just gonna put that one on it. Leave it like this for now. Um, and then if we get above this, we got the all-time high we got to deal with, which again, a lot of uncertainty right now. I honestly don't know how we pushing up. I'm gonna just be honest. I don't necessarily care how we pushing up still, but it's just kind of baffling to see that the market's still trying to climb. Like even dip buying right now, it is kind of interesting to see that we still trying to buy in under these market conditions. But the dip buy has been working all year. Um, so just gotta take it how it comes, you know. Um, this is ES, this is S&P. Drop that in here.
How do you see that SMT here in MNQ and MES?
So a lot,
Yeah,
a
on
easy,
1 hour.
a easy way to look at it is, you know, when I'm seeing like, you know, a low being made on ES, and that's kind of why you always see me with all of these charts open at the same time
Mm-hmm.
because I'm watching all of them at the same time, right?
Yeah, like right now on 1 hour, there is SMT, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm seeing one drop, I need to be seeing the other drop and the other drop. This drop is coming at a high. This drop is coming at a high. Usually NQ will lead. Sometimes, you know, Dow leads, sometimes ES lead, but most of the time NQ leads, right?
Mm-hmm.
So NQ made a lower high. It didn't take out this high.
Yeah.
This is just an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a high here, NQ didn't take it out. This same high on Dow, Dow took it out and made a new high. This same high that it made, and I'm gonna just draw it out. So these are shared highs right here.
Yeah.
These are all the same highs, right? In this case, this high got taken out on ES. In this case, this high didn't get taken out by NQ. In this case, Dow took the high out and traded higher, right? Since NQ is leading, you say, okay, since NQ is leading and we didn't take out the high, that means that after ES takes out the high, it should sell off. Same as NQ on Dow, right? Dow took out the high. We finally see some rejection above the high between this range right here. But at the same time, Dow is selling off, right? So if I'm looking and using NQ to guide me, I should probably take a sell on ES. While this is rejecting, I should be looking at this above this high to get a good entry above the high to sell off from there. It works the same way if there's a low, right? This low, this low, and these lows are the same lows, right? If I see I'm doing
I mean,
uh
because you said like because it took that high in MES one, it took that previous high, made new high. That's why it's ready to go, right? And
yeah,
in NQ, still we need to wait because in Dow it made same thing, like it took that previous high. So
yeah.
for that sale for NQ, we need to hold on, wait for that high to be taken, and then we can go for sale, right?
If you see Dow taking out a high
Mm-hmm.
and you see ES taking out a high and NQ doesn't take out a high, in some cases you would again, that's why I say I usually watch NQ to lead, right?
Okay.
Because if I'm watching NQ to lead, then I'm looking at this high not getting taken out, this high getting taken out on ES, and I'm seeing NQ sell off. So now I know if I'm watching in ES, I should see a setup on ES for the downside. Now, when you don't necessarily want to try to trade SMT, is when you see them all doing different things, right?
Right.
I'm okay with slight differences, right?
Mhm.
Like this high getting taken out on ES, this high not getting taken out on EQ, this high pushing up way above the high, but still starting to sell off. I'm okay with that. But like if right now ES was selling and then Dow was buying and then NQ was just stagnant, then I would be concerned. Because then it's not they're not in line at the time. So that's usually a time I'm gonna back off, right?
Mhm.
And I really don't care about SMT on the lower time frames. I'm usually watching SMT on the 1 hour and above.
Right, right.
Like you can go down to the smaller time frames for
Mm.
sure. Like definitely you can, especially like in the morning when you're looking for that first presented fair value gap. Like that's a real good way to check to see if they in line. Like because they both should be doing something at that same time,
Mhm.
around the same time. But for the most part, when I'm looking at like bias, when I'm trying to figure out which way I should trade, I'm typically looking at the 1 hour and above, and primarily the 1 hour and the 4 hour chart. So I'll be trading in this window, right? And then on my other screen above me, which you can't see right now,
Mm.
I'll be looking at this chart on the 4 hour and the 1 hour to see like what's going on at the same time. And the
Oh.
same way I do that is the same way I do gold and dollar, right?
Mhm.
Because if I see gold and dollar doing the same thing, I don't want to see that, right? I want to see them doing the opposite. So if I'm at a low right here on gold and I'm wondering, hey, should I be trying to buy from here? I know I'm inside of some type of bullish point of interest. I know I want to try to buy from here, but I'm not going to try to buy from here unless I see dollar making a high. And if you look at my cursor, this low
Mhm.
is when dollar make this high.
Yeah.
So if I'm trying to buy from here, right, in this area, right, I need to be seeing dollar sell off to
Yeah.
know that,
Mm.
hey, I should be, it's okay. And if I wait for confirmation, I should get a setup down here as long as I see dollar selling off, right?
Yeah.
It did, but not really. But it was just enough for me to get a decent move, you know,
Mhm.
just enough for me to get a decent move, right? Was that the move? Not really, but it did. And sometimes that's all it takes, right?
Mm.
Because if I'm looking for a play on gold, I want to see dollar doing the opposite, or I want to see dollar consolidating. Because usually, if I'm seeing that and I'm at some type of point of interest, it'll give me the move I'm looking for. You
Yeah.
get it?
Mhm.
Okay. Getting tore up on options right now. The play that I was really looking at was Grab. They posted their earnings, but then they revised them. And
This
that's
is not Grab.
yeah, I'm gonna pull that up.
Okay.
Fansly, I'm still waiting on this one. This one hasn't, it's just kind of ranging right now. Yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about that notes, right? So yeah, after seeing you, I am also doing the same thing because whatever you are saying, just like I am looking for this strike price or this date. So it's every time whenever you are opening your chart, you need to just open your copy, right? So
Yeah.
I started to put that there. So it's very easy, like to understand to manage things.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Definitely, it is.
All right. All right. So we on the same page.
Mhm.
This is just an update on Fastly. I'm not they did report good earnings. I don't actually have a position on this, but I will probably take a position on this tomorrow since the earnings came back good. And I need to try to cover up some of the damage I'm getting tore up by Grab right now. So I might have to take a loss on Grab. Haven't decided yet, but I'm probably gonna have to close that one out. It's not ready yet. So we're gonna see. Fastly charts here. And I'll send that to you guys. I will update you guys on a oh, I'm sorry. This is the position. That's why see, that's why I like putting it right here now. Because this is the notes from the position right here. So these are the details from Fastly. And this is the updated chart. That's that. This is the updated chart. That's kind of why I've been trying to put it right here because it's like I might not even remember where I put that. So, and then this is the chart. I'm glad I did this. See, this is exactly why.
Yeah.
um, let's save this. Okay. This is a stock that for I'm in for a long, right? But I'm up, but this is getting tore up right now. This is getting tore up. SMCI. I may be adding on to this because I'm okay with it coming down because that means I'll be able to pick up some more. I'm in this for like long term, so this is actually just a stock that I've been buying. So, and then with this one, I actually want to see this come down because I want to pick up some more. I got a lot of these in April, and I got them down for like 20 something and 30 some dollars. I wouldn't mind picking some more up, so that's kind of what I'm looking for on that. So, because I know this company will run, so that's why I'm looking at that. If we don't continue to push up, we sell off inside of here, or we sell off and up here. We need to come back into this range and try to push up higher. Or if not, we sell off. But we selling off because they miss earnings. So I'm okay. I like this company, so I'm gonna hold steady with them. And I'm going to they kind of move with Nvidia anyway, so I'm gonna stay on them, right? So let me add this guy to there. I need to get the contracts on this because I'm gonna buy on this, and I'm gonna actually buy the stock too. So I will give you the option prices as I go ahead and get them. I got kind of a reminder today that if I'm not patient, I'm gonna get burnt. And I'll go over that trade I took today in a second. Neo is pushing actually. Oops, let's go to Neo. Neo is pushing.
So before that, like SMCI, like that is coming down, but you are waiting for weekly FVG. It will come there, and then you will take that.
Yep,
Uh-huh.
that's what I'm looking.
Mhm.
Neo, it's churning. It's churning, man. It's in this range like I wanted to. Inside of this FVG, inverted FVG, it's just kind of just ranging, but it is still holding. So I don't have a problem with what it's doing right now. At this point, I don't want to see it come back down. I just want to see it go ahead and take out this high. But again, we do have potential to sell off right here. But right now, for now, it is holding. So, um, and that's what I want to see it do. We kind of just got back inside of here. You do want to see price trade up and then come down and hold. Now we want to see this high get taken out first. And then once we get this high taken out, we can start looking at the 802 high to get taken out. Not a lot of update on this. This one is just slow moving, right? This one is just moving along the way. So not a lot on this one to update, but um, you know, it's just doing what it's doing. You can update the chart. And it just needs to hold inside of this inverted fair value gap. And so far is managing to do it. And then this Neo, no, like I said, no update on this one. It's just doing its thing. If you want to add some more, I don't think it's a bad idea. Um, I'm satisfied with the position I have on them. I'm trying to find some new plays. So nothing on Nvidia. Nothing on Nvidia. Like I said, I figured we would come back down. Um, we would need, if we were going to keep going up, we would need to hold inside of this price gap. But if not, we were going to come down, which I'm okay with. And I don't have an update on Nvidia, but as you can see, it's still following suit. I don't really want to, I want to see it come down into here and hold right in the 193 to 191 area. Um, the owner of the company, he just came out and said something about China is going to win the AI war. You know, I hate that they talk about stuff like this. Like, y'all ain't in war, man. Y'all don't know what no war is, but you know, it is what it is. Um, Still think that 225 is going to be our target, though. No update because I'm not in any video on any option plays, but this is just a chart. And then let's go to grab. Grab, grab. You played me, boy. You played me, boy. Y'all played me, boy. Like, I don't even believe y'all did me like that. But now we gotta see what we can do about this, right? I want to see it just bounce. I do want to see it just bounce from here. But I have to be realistic. If we don't bounce, these lows are at risk, and we come down into this liquidity pool right here. And then below here, there's a small little gap, and that's where we have to see if it's going to come. If it start looking like it want to come after these lows, I will be out. I'm gonna have to get out of there. I don't even want it to come out of this 518 price range, right? If we come out of this 518 price range, I'm just gonna chalk this one up. This one gonna be an L. I need it to hold above the 562 price point, and I need it back above this gap. Now, may my other option is I still think that they will do good overall, but that just means that I'm gonna probably close out of the earnings play, and then I'll look for some leaps, right? I'll take the loss on the earnings plays, which are the contracts that expire on the 14th, 21st. I'll take the L on those, but then because I still like them, they did have good guidance. I'll look for a leap play where I'll go out further into next year, and then I will look for um then I'll look for a leap to buy on this same play. So that's gonna be my alternative, right? Because right now the
I
grab
added yesterday.
huh?
I added as yesterday one more
Okay,
for
okay.
for six
We
strike price.
still might get it, you know.
Eh, Sorry?
We still might get the move we looking for, but
Yeah.
not the
Yeah, I did the same.
Mhm.
yeah, this one might be, you know, a L on this one. Might have to peel off this, and that's
Mhm.
okay. We,
Yeah.
you know, can't win every time. So this one is needs to stay inside of weekly fair value gap and buy, and then hold above this bearish price gap. If we don't do it, we close out of the earnings play and look for leaps on this one, for elite plays. And then path. Path kind of looking similar. This is another one that's a earnings play, but we getting in early on this one, right? They don't actually report earnings until the 4th. So we still got time on this one. And I actually wanted it to come down into this area so I can buy some more. So we just tapped off of it. I may or may add on to may or may not add on above this, but if it comes down in here, I'm definitely gonna add on. So I don't want to see this happen. I want to see us bounce off of this. And just push up. I want to see us come into here. We can even dip out just a little bit, but I want to see us eventually buying up. Then this range, we can pretty much disregard that. We're going to be looking at this gap now to the downside. And I want to see us trade above this and through this to take out this high. And this is the weekly high for now. But This is the one. This doesn't expire. The contracts on this that I was looking at, they expire on the 5th and on the 19th. So we got time for these. So I'm okay with this one coming down. But like this is one of those ones that like I said, I like to build this. I'm building this position, right? I'm only buying one or two at a time. And then once it gets into my area, I'll add on higher as we get closer. I'll add on more as we get closer to this December 13th, this December 5th date. December 4th contract is when the earnings report. So this one we got time. So don't worry about this. Oh, I want to play a little lo-fi in the background. Nothing loud. I need some music. Let me find one that's not copyright. Okay. All right. I hope that's not too loud. Sorry, I like to have a little music. Um, so I just sent path. Okay, so path is there. And then the last one is Jumia. Jumia is holding. Jumia. Jumia Watanabe Marish. Yeah, Jumia is holding. It's just doing exactly kind of hold in the holding pattern right now. It did push down, which is okay. Like I literally don't even have to change this chart. Um, Now I want to see we traded out of this price gap. Let me zoom in a little bit. We traded out of this price gap right here, and now we back inside. Now I want to see us holding like we are, and then I want to see us coming after this high right here. This is previous day high. I want to see us taking this out. So this is the next area I want to see us come after. No real change on this one. This is still doing what it's supposed to do right now. We just had a little bump in the road, but we back on track on this one. So let me sing you this one. Needs to hold inside of the price gap and hold target the previous day high. And that's it, man. We gonna open up the rest for Q&A. Oh, let me go over this trade so I can show y'all how stupid I was today and impatient I was today. So I did exactly what I told y'all about seeing, like, this morning. I saw we had the inverted fair value gap on the 1 hour, right? And I saw it on all the pairs. This is in Q. We had just taken out the liquidity here. We had just taken out liquidity here. And even on the higher time frame, we had just taken out some liquidity over here. Took out the low. Same thing on this 1 hour right here. We had just taken out this recent liquidity and some higher time frame liquidity, and we were inside of a higher time frame gap over here. So I knew we had a chance to bounce, but I did not react to it properly. When I came in the market this morning, this was the 5 a.m. move. We had already moved off of this and started to move up into the 6, 7, and 8 o'clock hour, right? So with that being said, I knew that there was a possibility that it would push up. We also had the news of the jobs earnings, the jobs on the ADP numbers came in positive, right? So if you look at the 15-minute, this is that same move we had. It's all happening inside of this inverted fair value gap. So if we were to extend this out, this is all we would need to be looking at, right? There's another inverted fair value gap here. We move up off of this, and then we trade back inside of the 4 hour. What I did this morning is impatiently, I jumped in on this candle right here, and I jumped in at the high. I'm sorry, this candle right here. Nope, it was the 830 candle. It was the 830 candle. With the expectation that we were going to be pushing up, right? I jumped in at the high of this candle. And sometimes you could be right, knowing what the move was gonna be, but I added too much size over here. And you know, I'm telling y'all this to tell y'all that I'm not perfect, right? And I took like a $2,000 hit today for no reason, you know, just by not being patient, right? And I had my stop loss right here. When I wasn't wrong on the stop loss, but I would have got a better entry, and all I had to do was wait, right? I could have entered off of this level right where my stop loss was and got this whole move. Because this is what I was looking for. I was just really, really impatient this morning, and I was trying to go ahead and finish off my top step challenge so that I could go ahead and get my $200,000 accounts. But now I just took a $2,000 hit today, so now I just knocked myself down a little bit, and I'll have to work throughout that the rest of the week. But it sucks because I was about to be done with that. But you know, it's all good. I did end up passing a 150K challenge on Apex the day before yesterday, or yesterday, one of them. That one, let me see. This one got this one yesterday, so on the 4th. So now with
Congratulations.
yeah, no problem. Now what this means is, and for you, for like, I know one person for sure doesn't know what this means, right? I have access to $150,000 in capital, right? Once I get past $5,000, everything is mine. I can take 90% of everything, and I can request the payout of 90% of the profits that I get going forward. at after that point. So that looks like this. I thought I had it open.
Can you show me your certificate once again?
Sure.
Wow. Congratulations. Very nice.
Yep.
Thank you.
And right now, just to give y'all some insight, right? Let me pull this into to the screen. This is my wealth charts platform. This is also through Apex, right?
But
And
you are doing in TradingView, right?
no, I'm trading on this platform.
Okay.
This is my Apex account, right? So these are all $300,000 accounts. I only got about 4,000 more on these two. I got about 9 on this. I got about 8, just above 8 on these 3, and I'll be done with these 2. So I just understand, like, I want y'all on this, all right? Because y'all might have me back doing New York sessions in a minute, because I'm trying to quit this Macy's job, man. I'm trying to quit this IT job, man. I'm ready to go back to full-time trading. So if I get all of these, I'm gonna be done. I might be. So the top steps, I don't even want to show y'all that one because I'm mad at myself today. So I took that $2,000 hit for no reason, man. Like I should have just I went on tilt. That's really what happened. I went on tilt. And I turned what could have been a small loss into a bigger loss because I kept adding on. I switched sides. Like I just did a lot of not smart stuff, man. And you know, it catches like that sometimes. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna admit that just like I would admit when I win, you know.
The same thing like last week. So I understand. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
It just would have just waited.
Yep. All I had to do was wait, and I would have been in the right trade, right direction, and I would have been done with. I would have been showing y'all 3 of those today, but that's okay.
Yeah, I think sometime this is your day.
Yeah,
One day mine doesn't work.
yeah. You need those days sometimes.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
go back to your rules, right?
Yeah.
Like go back to your
Sometimes
rules.
we start if we have 10 rule, okay, today I'll follow 9 only. Then
Yeah,
after 2 days I'll follow 8 only.
yeah,
Then it getting less.
yeah.
Then one time we get punishment.
Exactly. And that's what happened to me. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like
To me
I've been
also.
I had a good run without I don't think I lost or had a losing day in quite some time. I don't even want to say how long it's been since I lost. But I got this loss. This was my reminder. I
Mhm.
knew I shouldn't have had my behind in there before the 9:30 open. And that's definitely a rule I usually follow. But today I was just like, you know what? I see what I see. I know what I know.
Mhm. Yeah.
The face
I think exactly my thoughts were also that time.
got smacked in the face. But um I'm gonna be um I'm gonna be you know back in there tomorrow morning. I was mad today. I almost didn't even do the session. That's how mad I was in myself today. But I
So
was just
you
like,
should have tell us, just I don't want to do it today.
nah, nah, nah.
Okay.
It's all good. Cause I need to get ready for tomorrow anyway. So
Mhm.
I gotta
But
go.
yeah, sometime if you don't want to do this, then you can say also.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I know. But I needed to get the charts ready for tomorrow. So I
Yeah, I know.
have an idea what I need to be looking at for tomorrow. Anyway,
Mhm.
so I can go try to get some of this $2,000 back.
Mhm.
So
No, don't say back. Just say I'm going to make that.
Yeah. I gotta now. I gotta say back because it's my money and I want it now. But yeah, I'll put all the charts and stuff on in the Facebook group, and then if anything else is the rest of the session now is just Q&A. So you guys can got some questions you can shoot now. No questions.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all in here. Next time we'll be on the call Sunday. Sunday, I may not be on the call. I'm gonna actually say no, I will not be on the call Sunday. But what I'll do is I'll put a video out with my markups and stuff like that. And I'll put it on YouTube and I'll just drop it in the group because I'm gonna be traveling on Sunday.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, Corey.
All right. Peace out, y'all.
All right, thanks, boss.
No problem.
And
Thank
bye, everybody.
Bye.